Sup goats, it's JOAT, and welcome back to a new review. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Computer Love EP by Barely Alive. So this duo is back with a 5-track EP released on, of course, Disciple main label. And I'm gonna be honest, I've never been the biggest fan of Barely Alive's material, but in a sense, you could say that they are goated for the amount of years they put into the scene and just for them contributing so much to the bro step era specifically. So yeah, it's always intriguing when big names drop new projects. I'm pretty interested as to what direction they go in with their new stuff. So yeah, this is going to be a bit of an in-depth review for y'all. Slightly different to what I usually do. Just let me know how I do in the comment section because I'm not 100% sure that this is exactly for me. But you know what? I am always keen on trying different stuff out. So yeah, one last thing before we get into the review. A quick word from our sponsors. Let's fucking go. Let me introduce to y'all Track Drop. So Track Drop is a service that supports just all around EDM producers throughout their career. It consists of 3 main subscriptions, which I'll be running through for y'all individually right now. Track Drop Studio Gold, which is the highest tier of resources subscription. It provides 100 samples and presets a month, and on top of that, 3 project files for $6.99 a month. And these resources are designed by producers that have released music on Dubstep Gutter, NCS, you fucking name it, so it's most definitely valid. Second subscription, Track Drop Promotion. This provides full access to this promotion tool, which spans over 100 networks with a cumulative audience of over 44 million listeners. Bro. And yeah, with one click of a button, you'll be able to reach that audience. And some of the networks I'll just show on screen now, you'll at least recognize 1 or 2, that's for sure. And this subscription, also only $6.99 a month. But getting into the final subscription, Track Drop Premium. This essentially combines the benefits of Studio Gold and promotion for only $9.99 a month. So that's a bargain right there if you ask me. And if y'all decide to go for this subscription, you'll also be enrolled in a monthly repost schedule to Track Drop SoundCloud audience, which boasts over 4,000 people. So that's quite a few as well. And last but not least, if you have this subscription, you will also access 1-to-1 artist feedback with professional artists that have also released on Dubstep Gutter and other major promotion channels. And yeah, what I find so interesting about Track Drop is it's run by producers that have released on Rushdown, NCS, Dubstep Gutter. Take 4 Eyes, for example. He's the one that hit me up about this whole service. Dude has a tune on No Copyright Sounds with over 1.4 million views, I believe. Also something pretty interesting, just by visiting the site, you get a free repost to that SoundCloud audience of 4,000 people, so I mean, I'd at least do that. And last but not least, y'all will also receive free extras each month, like small mini packs, for example, just to sate your craving for new samples. So you will no longer have to scroll through Splice endlessly and not find the stuff you need. But yeah, if anything I said in the past minute is halfway appealing to you, please do follow the website link at the very top of the description. You'll automatically be rerouted to the sign-up process. And if you somehow access the Track Drop website without using that link, make sure to use the link JOAT20. Yes, JOAT20, that should be on the screen right now. Make sure to use that link when you're purchasing one of those subscriptions. So yeah, that was Track Drop for y'all. Let's get into the vid. So, Barely Alive, Computer Love EP. Again, I was so intrigued as to what direction they'd go in with this EP, what styles they'd explore, if they'd try something new or just go for that trusty formula. And yeah, After listening to this project, I'd say I'm actually a little impressed. This was a pretty alright EP. The very first thing I want to touch on is the synthwave influence. The non-drop sections almost always consist of synthwave elements, those hazy pads, analog chords, staple 80s drums as well, and they do work for the most part, not gonna lie, those are pretty cool. And yeah, this influence shapes the entire middle tune, Closure, with Seeley. It's not dubstep at all, it's straight up synth, wavy synth pop with some funk laced into it as well. I'm not sure if I got that genre labeling 100% right, but either way, I can't say I care for this tune all too much. It's just pretty average in my opinion. It gives me kind of Bruno Mars vibes, I want to say. Yeah, I mean, it sounds like radio music to me. I wouldn't mind having it in the background while I'm doing something, but I most definitely wouldn't actively listen to it. But that's just my opinion, so least favorite. Excluding Closure, we're left with 4 tracks whose drops are a pretty even split of melodic and heavy. And before I get into those, I do want to say some of that go-to Barely Alive staple Brittum sound is still here. It's definitely on the CP, but I guess the approach is more modern. But the one thing that really stood out to me when it comes to sound design and what sets this newfound sound design apart from their older stuff is how overblown and crunchy their heaviness has gotten. It's most prevalent on the title track's first drop, just that distortion. And yeah, this tune's second drop is properly developed from the first, I want to say. A cool tonality to some of those basses, but I still do prefer the first drop's start-stop delivery and the simplicity of the idea. So I enjoyed that drop. There's that Brittum influence. Now, the melodicity and harmonicity shine through the most with Electric Lady, with Nyptane featuring XO Eliza, and the first drop of Imagineer featuring XO Eliza. The former sounding pretty generic during its first drop's couple sounds and the first seconds of that drop, but the descending art pattern that comes in after, I mean, kind of falling like raindrops almost, it's gorgeous. And the way the sounds are arranged as the drop progresses is so good too. And the second drop, it starts where the first left off with an extra boost of awareness and consistency. Also love XO Eliza's melancholic vocal performance, the way her singing segues into the drop. And to be honest, XO Eliza did a good job with the singing on the CP with the 2 tracks she was featured on as a whole. I mean, her vocals are pretty gorgeous and add to that synthwave vibe, so I'm definitely feeling them. One thing I will say about the vocal effects on her voice, it's not even like a complaint, it's just a comment. I would have liked for her vocal effects to be a bit more analog and retro, like I guess turn up the pre-delay, Valhalla vintage verb, whatever the fuck. Take MGMT's Little Dark Age, for example, which is probably my favorite synth pop, synthwave tune of all time. The vocal effects on there were just on point, and I guess I'd love to see XO Eliza's voice work with those sort of effects, but yeah, that's me being a little nitpicky, so I don't mind that. Her vocal effects is fine. But yeah, this was a solid song overall, a solid melodic song. Not gonna lie, I wasn't expecting much from this song. I expected it to be way more typical and generic than it really was. But yeah, it's an unexpected surprise for sure. Now, Imagineer featuring, again, XO Eliza. Definitely more inventive than Electric Lady. With its melodic rhythm, almost future rhythmy synths opening up the first drop. Luscious and enveloping. Probably my favorite too by how the second drop just picks up the pace with the futuristic glossy tinges and layering of heaviness too. It's like you're in the middle of a Brittum battlefield. It's nice on the ear. That sloshiness, the movement, that's nasty. And finally, that leaves the Control Freak collab, TikTok. Another track where I wasn't really expecting much. I'm not a fan of Control Freak's music for the most part, but how succulent, hollow, and metallic that delivery is that they put forth here is cool. It is. The synth chords in the back of the second drop are an alright addition. I love the filtering that they did for a little bit. But yeah, a pretty braggadocious sustains, rattling sound design, propelling some of the drop ideas as well. Very nice harmonic choppy buildup especially. Yeah, the overall combination and layout and arrangement of sounds in the final drop was pretty tight as well. But again, some of the sound design doesn't resonate with me as much. Yeah, overall for me, some ideas work here, some ideas don't all too much, but overall it's an alright collab. So, that was the EP. Like I said, it was an alright EP. I didn't think it was great, but it was definitely not bad. Again, no disrespect, my standards were a little lower going into this EP, but I guess I'm happy with how it turned out. I'm pretty satisfied. But then again, Barely Alive's music is better than a lot of what I hear in the mainstream. Specifically, unfortunately, the Disciple mainstream. So yeah, again, the Synthwave Influence works in their favor, and I guess them staying true to what blew them up in the first place, but modernizing that sound and honing in on it is, I guess, what's kind of appealing about this. And I know for sure that Barely Alive super fans will mess with this. Other than that, I mean, they love their drops packed tightly next to each other, quick builds in between, keeps the tunes moving. Not much potency is lost with these tracks as they progress, if you ask me. Again, my least favorite, Closure. It just felt too run-of-the-mill, mainstream pop-esque for me. My favorite, Imagineer. Exactly what Barely Alive are good at the moment, in my opinion. And my favorite moments of this EP, my top 3, have to be the raindrop delivery in Electric Lady, the layering of heaviness in Imagineer, and the first drop of Computer Love. Those 3. But yeah, this has been your boy JOAT. Thank you all for watching this review. Drop your opinions in the comment section below. What did y'all think of this EP? What was your favorite track, your least favorite track, your favorite moment, your least favorite moment? That's Barely Alive for you. Make sure to follow me on Twitter. A link is at the bottom of the description, as well as my other socials, but Twitter is more important since I'm trying to grow my brand there. Make sure also to join my Discord server. Link is near the top of the description. And yeah, I will see y'all in the next one. Bye.